So it has been 2 weeks since Typhoon Mawar struck the island. Recovery efforts are underway. For many, it's been a slow process. But what has been quick has been the response of those here and abroad, um, wanting and willing to help those that lost their homes, lost their the farmers lost their main source of income, which is their crops. A fundraising campaign has been launched by Calibis Clothing, Prubechu, and Denanche Drizzle. I have with me, joining me now, Adrian Tomas Amalin and Eleni and Pika Farron of Denanche Drizzle, and Adrian Tomas from Calibis Clothing. Hoffaday, everyone.
Half a day.
How
you doing?
Good job. Well, first off, for Adrian Tomas, living in California, when you heard of the typhoon and you're seeing the videos, the national headlines, I'm sure you were getting word from your family. I guess, what was your initial reaction?
Well, we thought it was, just a typical typhoon that's coming over Guam. And it built up pretty quickly, and we're watching the WhatsApp and just hearing all of our family members talk about what's going on and how much stronger the typhoon was getting. So we just started watching all of their videos outside of their house, what's happening, their neighbor's house. And we're like, wow, this one's hitting pretty hard. So
Yeah.
we after you always wait to the end of the typhoon to see what the damages are. So we were just saying our prayers for Guam and staying optimistic. Everything was gonna blow over. Like in the past. The typhoons haven't been too hard. I mean, it depends how far back you go, but yeah, we just thought it was a typical typhoon blowing over.
Yeah, and over the past few years, I mean, our family WhatsApp group would go off on, oh, there's a tropical depression forming over here, and it'll go and then it'll miss, and it'll just kind of go by, and this one just kept brewing and it kept getting bigger, and they kept giving the play-by-plays and all the updates that get thrown around in the WhatsApp groups, and it just started getting more serious, and then once it hit CNN. That's when I was like, okay, this is getting more serious. And then when the Tacoma video flipping came out, that's when it got like real. That was like, okay, that's not a normal tropical depression. So that was a little bit different. Yeah.
And then for Lenny and Pika, I mean, how did you fare during the typhoon? How was it for you?
Well, we had to secure both of our businesses so that, we were able to close both businesses the day before the typhoon hit. And then just to make sure that our home is secure, we're very fortunate to live in a concrete home with typhoon shutters. So, we weren't too worried about our safety because, we were very secure. Going through the typhoon, it was the first typhoon for our kids, first real typhoon for our kids. And, they took it in stride. For me, I was actually pretty fearful just hearing the winds outside and all the rain. But I would say that, we are one of the very fortunate ones that we didn't get any home damage. At the end of it, we just have to deal with no power. So we're very lucky that we also had water throughout the whole typhoon up to today. I know a lot of families, even if they had a concrete home, maybe they didn't get water. They still don't have water. We still don't have power. We're just really fortunate.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because we ran the generator just to get a good Zoom interview for you, Joan.
Yeah.
So that's the status right now. I mean, otherwise we had to go somewhere. Market Deli is a big part of the community now. In just 2 short years that we've been open, we've been providing so much food, and we don't have water. We have power, so we can't operate. It's been almost 3 weeks. We're trying to keep our team paid, but even even further than that, we're just trying to get some of our team members back to normal so that they can get back to work, so that the hands that make the food are there for the community. And that's how we begin to rebuild, just one house at a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, as we were here dealing with the effects of the storm, you know, like the day after, going out, seeing the destruction of all the trees and all the lines down, you know, we were just trying to get our wits about ourselves, and our partners out there in California, AJ, Tomas, Sean, the two Seans from Prubechu, they were so quick and put together this GoFundMe. So, you know, we were so grateful that they saw the need and they stood up to do that. And then they asked us to join with them and be the boots on the ground to get, you know, whatever funds that they're able to raise to get the funds to families that need the help. So we're just so grateful that they were able to do that so quickly.
I think I remember the moment that it happened is when AJ kind of realized like how much of a loss we took, you know, as from our businesses. Like I lost all my peppers, you know, we have no farmers to provide us with peppers for Denanche, and we lost almost 13,000 in inventory, you know, so, well, you know, numbers don't matter, but we, you know, anyways, when you realize the amount of loss is when you know, you want to help, right? And I think that was the moment when AJ and Tomas were like, man, let's do something now. And because we're here and we're in it, it's so hard to think like, okay, let's set up a GoFundMe or let's do this. Like we're just looking at what's around us. Like it's just hard to like process that there's no leaves on the trees. You know, like we're still getting past, like, why is this gas line going past my house? Like we're still processing that. We can't do a process like go do a GoFundMe or fundraising efforts. But you know, after a week, things kind of got settled down, and now we're just pushing as much as we can.
Now, so AJ and Tomas, you know, I guess when you started the GoFundMe page, was it after seeing like, you know, after like how Lenny mentioned, like after like, you know, if people were able to kind of go into condition of readiness for, they were starting to assess just how much destruction was on the island and how many people were affected, and you know, from everything from, you know, no power, no water, you know, homes destroyed, but just the impacts. Was that like the second that you realized we needed to start something, we needed to do something, especially since we're not there?
Yes, definitely. You know, it's all about what our brand is about. You know, it's push love, and there, you know, when we see an opportunity that we're able to help out, you know, we'll strike for that. Especially with this one, especially it's where we're from, our roots, Guam. We have a lot of family there, and you know, and Guam is it was the place that taught us, you know, taught us our roots, taught us community and stuff like that, and that's what we based our brand off out here in California. And we, you know, so we have a voice out here, and we wanted to reach out to a lot of our followers, our fans out here, and see, you know, what the reaction would be with them trying to help us as well. So, you know, we're very surprised, and you know, when we saw a lot of the videos, we can already imagine, because we've seen it before in Guam. You know, we've seen our friends tie down their tin roofs and stuff like that, then stroll after the typhoon and see if it blew down, you know. And we've helped, you know, we know the feeling of when a typhoon passes, and you know, so we can only imagine. And Lenny was providing a lot of media and stuff like that to us, and we felt we could help. So why are we gonna sit on our hands and just operate like nothing's happening on Guam? So, you know, we felt the need. We teamed up. Talked with Lenny, talked with Prubechu. How can we help? And you know, we feel bad because it's easy for us out here, because we're starting a website link, and we're not there. We're not boots on the ground like Lenny and Pika are, you know, and we can make more of a difference if we're there, but this is the situation we're in. So this is our easiest way to help, you know. And so far it's been, you know, we're amazed at the response that we've been getting from people, you know, the side messages, everything like that. So yeah, so that's where we're at right now, and we're still pushing.
Yeah.
So
And I know that could you tell us, I guess, where the funds go, directly to help towards, and obviously, efforts or the relief for Typhoon Mawar, but is there a specific? Is it going to a specific?
yeah, so with the funds that we have, with the funds that we're collecting, Lenny's our trusted partner. We know Lenny and Pika, they both have the biggest hearts. They're already out there, boots on the ground, and they will delegate where the funds go and who the people, where to help. I mean, obviously, it's not going to help everyone, but it's going to help a lot of someone's, and that's our goal. That's it. That's going to be the reward for us. So we have full trust in them, and it's not like donate to a Red Cross. You don't know where that money goes. I know that Lenny's going to do his part, and Pika, and get it to the right people, good people that that really need it,
And they're proven. They're proven to do the right thing. So that's definitely another reason why they were the #1 choice for us to go with.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate we appreciate the trust, right, that these guys are giving us, and they're using their network that trusts them, and they've been good to a lot of people along the way. And Prubechu, likewise, fed a lot of people out there, and these guys network right now are trusting us to make sure that these people get the help right away. So, the only way that I'm able to do it is just through social media, to let people actually see it, like the progress, right? We don't have a whole lump sum of money to give, but what we're doing is just, as soon as we get money, we're just going out there and trying to help who we can along the way.
And the Stand with Guam GoFundMe that we're talking about, we're talking about rebuilding people's homes and getting them back to a state of normalcy, right? There's so many families living in the shelters. There's even families that we're working with that they are staying in their wooden and tin home. They had 3 bedrooms and a kitchen. 2 bedrooms and the kitchen are completely destroyed, but they're staying in the 1 bedroom that still has a roof on and still has the walls attached.
And the kitchen's outside now, and they're getting eaten up by mosquitoes and bugs. So we help them clear the debris. But we have, those are things that don't cost dollars, right? Like Pika and I are out there. We're helping our families out there. We're helping clear debris, throw trash. We use our gas. I mean, we donate a lot of our time and our own personal money. But the funds that are coming through the GoFundMe are really meant to help them get back into their home. Mm-hmm. Because one of the houses we identified has 40 people living in it. That's 40 people under one roof. And because they're not in their house right now, they're in the shelters, right? So if they're in the shelters, that means 24/7, government funds there to keep them there. And some of the shelters are, it's not in the best condition. So they're in I think their 4th shelter at this time. Mm-hmm. Since the typhoon, they've had to move 4 different times. This is 40 people we're talking about. So rather than that and waiting around for outside assistance, let's just go ahead and try to get that roof back up over their head. Mm-hmm. And get them back in their house, maybe give them a generator and wait for FEMA comfortably, not sitting in a moldy classroom or wherever they are.
I don't know if classrooms are moldy. I don't think our government would put our people in that situation.
No, but that's why they have to move, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We don't want them to have to move anymore. Just move them home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in touch with FEMA, a representative from FEMA, and she was so helpful because I was explaining to her that we're raising these funds and we want to give it to families, but we don't want to jeopardize a family's eligibility for FEMA to rebuild their home. And the advice that she gave me was to use the funds to supplement whatever FEMA awards them. So she explained that FEMA is not going to pay for a lot of personal property that was lost. FEMA is not going to pay for food to feed these families. And you know, there's so many, like our businesses have been completely closed. So these are employees that are not able to make an income. And so the question is like, how are they going to get fed? And she suggested that that's one way that we can use the funds to support the families. So, you know, we don't want to reduplicate efforts. We don't want to ruin their eligibility. But, you know, the family that I was talking about where the elderly parents are staying in the wooden and tin structure, just that one room that they have left. She checked her FEMA eligibility and her application was approved for $6,000, a little bit over $6,000. That is heartbreaking because this is their home that is in shambles. And I mean, I'm sure they're going to use the $6,000, that whatever money they get, they're going to use it that they can. But that is not enough to rebuild your life when you literally lost everything.
Yeah.
So that's where the Stand with Guam Fund Me donations will come in and, you know, supplement the federal aid that these families will be receiving.
You know, and you know, I've seen it shared and reposted on social media platforms. Is there anything, and especially for those that are watching this, is there anything that you want to get out to those to if they can't contribute? I know Lenny and Pika had mentioned in their video, you know, just, you know, go out there and you know, if you can just help a fellow neighbor or someone in need. Is there anything that you want to get out to those watching?
Yeah. Well, you can't help everybody, but you can help somebody. And that's where you got to start. You know, find someone that needs help and stick with them. Be by their side and comfort them. Let them know that you're there to help them. Because they're already feeling bad. They're ashamed. They lost their house. They don't want to be in the public eye. They don't want people to know about this. You know, they just want their room, you know, and if you don't understand what it's like if you're on Guam, you know, at night, just go outside and without mosquito spray and see how long you last, you know, because they have to do that all night, like all night, you know, and we're just trying to get them to a comfortable place. You know, it's not an easy thing to put somebody's home in the trash, right? And maybe, yeah, it's probably hard for people to really understand what that feels like until it's your home, right? But we're hurting on Guam, so we understand that people on Guam, we're not trying to ask for you know, too much or expect too much funds coming from here. That's why we've partnered with Calibis and Prubechu to reach out to our off-island network, you know, who maybe aren't in this bad of a position, that can donate $10 or whatever, $100. It all goes a long way. And that's why we're doing this, is because Guam is hurting. So we're reaching out to get the help from people that, you know, can help.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, guys, if I may say something. I know that you know, we're providing like a really impactful GoFundMe right now to raise funds for people. But just as Lenny was saying, that there are Chamorros abroad, stateside, that are actively gathering resources that might not entirely accumulate to like something monetary value, but people are getting shipping containers and shipping anything from clothes to canned goods, dry goods. And there's even clothes drives going on island as well for people to donate. And there's a free market taking place there afterwards as well. So if no one's available to send money directly, I recommend checking out social media and looking for any way that you can donate resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, Devin is not even Chamorro.
Yep.
But this guy's our adopted brother. He's familiar already. You know, he's helping. He's not even Chamorro. He's out there. His heart's with us, you know?
We want to thank Devin for doing all of the back end logistics on setting up the campaigns and making sure everything runs smoothly and the message gets out. So a lot of flowers go to Dev for that.
Thank you.
The last thing I do want to say to people is if you're thinking, you know, well, FEMA's gonna help them, gonna help these people. I mean, yeah, you're right. you know, and we're working with FEMA as well to help them. But what about today? You know, that's what it's about. It's like, how can we help them today? And even if FEMA does build their house, what about the contents inside that make it a home? You know, it's just 4 walls they're giving them, but we got to help them make it a home again.